Hey everybody, welcome back to another Blind Tuesdays. Hope you guys been enjoying this little series and just in general with the content lately. Uh, this week was a silent film, and this one was had a lot of options. The obvious choices being Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton, and I decided to go for a Buster Keaton film. And that film being The General, which was released in 1926, I believe. And it was co-directed and co-written by Buster Keaton, starring again, once again, as always in his films, Buster Keaton, uh, as a engineer, a conductor of sorts for a locomotive, and he's very determined to prove himself and to show to a crush, a love of his, that he is more masculine and he's more capable. So he's trying to enlist himself into the army. He gets rejected, and the girl gets captured by the enemy, and it's up to him to try to save her. And that's the bare bones of what the film is about. It's very self-contained and very simple, but ultimately, I don't know what else you'd expect from something of Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin. It's meant to be very simplistic in design. And that simplicity works greatly to its advantage because one of the key things about silent films that people often, not often don't think about is that it's all about what they're doing. The difference between silence and sound is that in silent films, it's all about what the characters are doing, and in sound, it's all about what the characters are saying. And that's the fundamental difference between the two. And and for silent films, that means that there's an emphasis and a reliance to its visual qualities and its visual storytelling in order to inform the viewer as to what is happening. And for The General, it is just absolutely, not only just in telling of its story, but also in its developments. You get an understanding of the characters and their their emotional states and their own dilemmas. And of course, with it being Buster Keaton, you're going to get a lot of stunt work in here, and it's nothing short than just amazing, just outstanding work. I mean, one of the most, if not the most iconic shot in the film is the train, falling down the bridge, which I've heard is one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive shot in cinematic history. And I can believe it. I mean, it's just it's quite an expensive, looking shot. I'm thinking about the locomotive and the bridge and all that sort of stuff. And considering when this film was made, it's it's quite incredible, um, and it's just wildly entertaining. It's utterly charming. It wins you over in pretty much most ways possible. It's gorgeously framed as well, like just the pans of when you see Keaton just jumping on the train and doing all the things that he does. It's a film that when I was watching it, I just kept telling myself like I don't know where I can have like any cynicism or any real criticisms. It's just so delightful and it's just so wonderful, and I found myself just really in love with it. I found it to be just really, really, really entertaining and really, really fun, and it's really showcases that because there's always that or not always, but there's usually a stereotype with, at least with like this modern generation, that silent films are somehow not informative and not interesting. And I would obviously disagree with that. There's other silent films I can point to, like some of Charlie Chaplin's films, and I would point to this film especially, where it's just a different means of telling a story, which I've represented, which I said at the beginning, is that this is all about what is happening with in films of today, or with any film today. It's all about what they're saying. So, um, And with that, your attention is focused more on the more important elements, the characters, the over just the literal action of what is happening in the story. And what you get in this is something that's very simple and just extremely effective. I found myself just completely won over by it. I think the stunt work in it is incredible. I think that I get a great understanding of everybody and all their motives, and it's just utterly charming. I just found myself just so charmed by it and in love with it. I really enjoyed myself, really enjoyed my time with it, and it makes me very anxious to see more of what Buster Keaton did. I've seen a film of his prior. I can't for the life of me remember what the film's name was, but I can remember. Some points in the film. I think it was involving like a ticket or something like that. I forget, um, but yeah, I extremely uh, great piece. I think that you guys definitely need to check this out if you have not seen it. It's just for the stunt work alone. It is incredible. Just knowing the time of when it was made, putting that in perspective and seeing the kind of stunts that they're doing in this, it is just jaw dropping, and it makes stunts today look just utterly cheesy. This is actual stunt work and actual, uh, actually like in camera sort of stuff. No CGI nonsense. This is just real, and it makes it more authentic and just adds to the entertainment that's already there. So yeah, absolutely love The General. I thought it was just great. And it being Blind Tuesdays, let us go back to the wheel and let's see what next week's is going to offer. So I'm going to press the spin right now. Let me crank this up and let's see what we got. So ready and spin. And next week's Blind Tuesdays is going to be a film from the 70s. Awesome. I actually love this era. So, awesome. There's a lot of films that I can pick from. So yeah, and let me know your thoughts and of course your picks for next week's Blind Tuesdays. Let me know. It has to be a film in the 70s. That's the criteria. So just let me know your picks in the comment section below. And of course, if you've seen The General and any of other Buster Keaton films and just any other films within the silent film era, let me know some of your favorites in the comment section below and any recommendations as well. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.